In Houston, there are mere murders, and then there are big M's. These are the stories that make front page news, always involving the rich and powerful. In one of those large houses around town, something has gone wrong. And what goes wrong has to do with a woman. She may be the murderer or the victim, but as the details of her life come out day by day in the news, it gets progressively easier for people to believe that the opposite of love isn't hate. The opposite of love is murder. This case looked a little different at first. The two would-be hit men from California botched the job. They put 4 bullets into the flashy blonde in the red Firebird, but they didn't kill her, they left her paralyzed from the waist down. The scene of the crime, the parking lot of a donut shop on the corner of Beechnut and Gessner, was a long way from River Oaks, the setting of most Big M's in the past. But this murder attempt became a Big M as soon as the young victim mumbled the name Mims into the ear of an attending cop. The police, the press, and the public would quickly learn that Mims was meant to be Mins, as in Houston health spa magnate and self-styled adventurer Richard L. Mins. They had been lovers for 3 years. They were both bottle blondes, but otherwise Dick Mins and Barbara Piotrowski didn't seem to have much in common. She, like her attackers, was from California, just 26, a surfer, the kind of summer girl the Beach Boys taught a generation how to pine for. He was almost twice her age, an entrepreneur, a promoter, and a self-made millionaire. He had rakish wavy hair, a polished smile, and the physique of a bodybuilder. In defiance of growing old, he staged stunts on his birthdays, hunting a great white shark or water skiing for hours around Lake Tahoe. And maybe taking a young mistress was another way for him to defy growing old. Plenty of other men have done the same. But there was more to it than that. Theirs was a romance born of a modern subculture, the double-knit aristocracy. Double-knit aristocrats make their money fast and without any help from the old-line downtown crowd, in raw land and franchises and shopping centers and health spas. In middle age, they take to spending it in Aspen and Acapulco and Puerto Vallarta. They learn how to ski and play tennis and scuba dive. They trade in their trusty Chevys for 450 SLS, their 3-piece suits for rhinestone denim ensembles, and their scotch and water for more exotic mixtures. In the swirl of new money, new habits, new friends, it's often a logical step for them to leave their wives for younger, freer women. The double-knit aristocrats live with a certain vengeance. I've made it and I want everything now is their motto. So it's no surprise that their world is filled with sudden crashes, wrecked lives, and violence. In the wake of the October 1980 shooting, Dick Mins's years of tireless self-promotion in Houston made him the natural center of attention in the press, even though no hard evidence linked him to the crime. He has not even been questioned by the police. From Barbara's point of view, it is only right that suspicion should fall on Dick. To Mins's defenders, her claims are merely the puny revenge of someone whose shady past came back to haunt her and who is now trying to blame her lover. It is this conflict between the double-knit aristocrat and the California girl, these two opposite poles of the same magnet, that created a charged field around the shooting, that made it a Big M. Richard L. Mins was at an odd juncture the January morning he met Barbara Piotrowski on the ski lift in Aspen. For 20 years his life had been dedicated to, obsessed with, making money. During that time he'd built a $10 million personal fortune from a 6-state, 32-facility chain of President's First Lady health spas. He'd indulged himself in all the basic trappings of newfound wealth in Houston, a mansion on Memorial, a chauffeured Cadillac, a condo at the Lakeway Resort near Austin. But toward the mid-70s, as he approached the age of 50, he'd become more than a little bored with it all. With the Federal Trade Commission cracking down on the spa industry in general, he'd probably taken the venture as far as it could go. It was time to find new challenges, to live a little. As for his personal life, friends later said that Mins's decision to gradually liquidate his spa business caused him and his wife, Mimi, to drift apart. President's First Lady, after all, had been as much Mimi's baby as Dick's. He was the creative torque behind it, the idea man and the salesman. She was the common sense, the one who kept things running smoothly. It had been a successful marriage and business, but lately, as Mins would admit during the divorce proceedings, the romance had all but vanished.